Hey guys, it's Anthony. Today we have a special guest, Michael Kanoff of Michael's Jewelers, and he's here to tell you all about his new stores, his life, and what's shaped his rise in Bucks County. So please give a Bucks Co-Living welcome to Michael Kanoff.
Hey, thanks for having me, Anthony. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
Michael, thank you. And you know what? It's just funny. I just realized something. We started this interview, but today is a year ago today that I got engaged, and it's all because of you. And that's a little caveat. So I just looked at the date and I was like, oh crap, I have to say that right away.
It's crazy. And you just randomly booked this?
Yeah, but
Did it?
yeah, this is the day. I just looked at the date right in the corner. I'm like, oh crap, I should mention that right away. Michael, thank you again for having interview you today. You guys all know Mike. Mike's been in the jewelry business forever, and this is something that he grew up in, a legacy that has lasted generations. And if you've never been to the store, he's got 2 new stores. He's got so much to offer, and it's something that, again, I trusted in him. All of Bucks County trusted in him, and this is why I wanted to share with you guys. So, Mike, tell me a little bit about. First off, you were born in the business, right?
Yes.
When your dad started, were you born in a?
So I was backstory. How I got into it. I'm 4th generation. My
Yeah,
great grandfather immigrated from Russia to
yeah,
this country, and actually watchmakers is what we originally came to this country and started doing. So my great grandfather was a watchmaker. My grandfather was a watchmaker, both in Philadelphia in the jewelry
yeah,
district. My father, when he was old enough to start working, realized not for me. Don't want to do this. Started working in a retail store. Worked his way up as a retail manager and was doing pretty well. My grandfather came to him and said, "Hey, I have one of my clients who's selling a store who does very well," which happened to be the original Michael's Jewelers in Fairless Hill Shopping Center.
yeah.
That he said, "I'll help you, partner with you, and buy this store if you want to do it, because I think it's a great opportunity for you." And that's how the first Michael's Jewelers was born in 1976.
Crazy.
To give my age away, I was 2 years old when that store
Oh,
was.
nice. Was Matt born yet?
Matt was not. Matt
Yeah,
is
yeah,
3.5 years younger than me, so he
yeah.
wasn't even thought of yet at that point.
That's
But
awesome.
it's one of those things, ever since I could remember, this is all I've ever wanted to do. There was never a plan B. There was never, if I don't do jewelry, I'll do this or that. It was always jewelry. Did I at one point say I didn't want to work with family and I want to do my own thing in jewelry? Absolutely. But and I was always in jewelry. That's how I started. So I worked for my family in high school a little bit, just kind of dabbled. And that was in the co-op program when I went to Pennsbury, which meant that you got out of school on my senior year, 12 o'clock. I went to work for my parents full time and just couldn't wait to honestly get out of high school and start working. I dabbled in college for a little bit. Wasn't really for me because, again, I always knew what I wanted to do and just thought, can I just start working? I remember saying to my parents, and they're like, no, you need a college degree. If you're going to work here, they really pushed it. So to appease them, I did go, dropped out because I knew it was not for me, never liked it, never wanted to go, and really just never pictured myself graduating, if you want the truth. But once I dropped out, I did then return to work full time, made sure I still liked it, which I absolutely love what I do. That being said, I wound up going to school for my trade. I went to the Gemological Institute of America, which
Yeah,
is in California,
yeah.
and that's a 6-month program. Loved it. Graduated as a certified gemologist. And then at the time, I decided, gee, I want to stay in California. I don't want to come back to the East Coast. So I did wind up staying out there for a year and a half and just worked 2 different jobs. I did work a retail jewelry store job for a bit, and then for about a year, I worked a wholesale job in the Diamond District in Los Angeles, and I liked that.
Yeah. What did your mom think about all that? Did your mom think you were going to come back, or?
Yeah, they always thought they weren't happy that I decided to stay out there, but they got it. If it were up to me, I'd still be there between you and me. In
Yeah.
fact, spring break is this week. Where am I going on vacation with the family? We're going to California because my
Oh
kids
yeah.
have not seen it yet.
Nice.
I love it. It's just different atmosphere. Weather's much better. People are different, more laid back, more kind of my vibe, if you will. But absolutely loved it. After a while, it's very expensive to live out. And at the time, my parents were kind of supplementing me a little bit. So after a while, they said, all right, we're done. You got to quit and come home.
Come on
Which I
back. Yeah.
When I came back, though, I still did not want to work with family. I thought, I want to be a diamond dealer in New York, which I was up for. So I went on a couple job interviews, was offered jobs, but at the time it was a commission only type of job. And my parents said to me, you're going to have to commute from here, which looking back, even though a lot of my friends do commute from here to New York every day still, I thought I'm not doing that. Instead, I took a job in Atlanta, or I was relocated to Atlanta, did wholesale jewelry for about a year and traveled all around the Southeast and sold jewelry to stores, which was a great education for me. Because imagine all I did was look at jewelry stores, talk to jewelry store owners, and
Yeah.
kind of find out what made them successful, what set them apart. I always knew I was going to come back to retail. At the time, I thought this was a great opportunity for me. And then I got a call from my father about a year in saying, They're going to build a shopping center in the old 5 Mile Woods at Big Oak Road. Would I be interested in coming home and starting up a store with them? So I thought, a jewelry store in my hometown, this is absolutely my dream come true. With that, I quit my job. I moved home, and the rest is history. That was 1997. So almost 30 years later, still at it.
Yeah. And you've grown since then. First off, your father and your mom retire after what, 43 years doing this, right? Like
almost. They were 45 years in.
45
They were
sorry. Yeah, that's incredible. And then this past year you've been on a tear. First off,
yes,
you've put your money into advertising, which it's working great. Everyone loves it. The TikToks are funny as hell.
Well,
you uproot basically, which everyone probably told you don't do it. Don't move from Fairless Sales. Don't move from Big Oak. You're opening up two new locations where everyone grew up. I remember going as a kid to the Fairless Sales one, and then later on to the Yardley one, and now you moved to the new shopping center. Where if you guys don't, are you at Wegmans the one today?
I'm at the Wegmans store.
You're
right
at the
now.
Wegmans one today, yeah. And then you're right next to. You're in Middletown Shopping Center. What's that called? It's
Langhorne Square.
Langhorne Square. Yeah.
That says for people that don't know the name.
And that just opened up, right?
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going great. So I'll say this: when we moved out of our Oxford Oaks, like the Yardley store, I didn't really have any negative. Everybody said, "Make great move," because brand new shopping center, Wegmans, good restaurants, good. There was a lot of buzz and excitement there. I got a little bit of pushback moving out of Fairless Hills, just because a lot of people were, "You've been here 50 years. How could you do that?" Which a lot of it is, would have been 50 years in November. A lot of it was, gee, I love it here because it's home. We've been there for so long. It's our original. But truth be told, our business was not going to grow staying there. It was, I feel like it just reached a level that was capped. There was zero walk-by traffic in that center. Even before I moved to Yardley, I wanted to move Fairless Hills to Langhorne Square. I always thought this center's booming. There's tons of traffic. It's the opposite. There's tons of walk-by traffic. The center's always nuts. Every time I would pull into that center, it could be night, it could be morning. I'm always in awe of, look at all the cars, look at all the traffic. So I finally figured, look, normal people don't move 2 stores within a year, but opportunity knocked, and I thought, as long as my wife doesn't kill me, I'm going to do it.
And by the way, you have a kid in college, right? Jake is in college. And two daughters. What grade are they in now with twins?
They're sophomores at Pennsbury.
So they're sophomores. So, hey, by the way, you tell your wife, by the way, we're going to move 2 stores. I know it's my family home of Fairless Hills, but that was a big conversation. But you know the locations. You know the area. You scouted this years in advance, right?
Yeah. Yes, I did. It was something my wife knew. And the funny thing is, she even said to me that 6 months before I did this, "Hey, I know you, and I know you think you're moving the other stores. You're going to wait. You're going to give it a year or 2 to see how we do in Yardley before we go and make that move." I said, absolutely. However, one day I was getting lunch at Hong Kong Pearl. I pull up and I see an available sign on the store. I'm like, no, you're going to listen to your wife. You're just going to go and get your food, get back in your car, and you're going to leave. And as I got back in my car, I'm like, when have you ever done that? So with that, I quickly, next thing you know, I'm on the phone, and I thought, let me at least schedule a tour, see if I like it. Let me see if I can cut the deal I need to see if I can make it happen. And then we'll discuss this with the missus and see how she takes it, because she's the type, she would have shut me down before I even did any of it. However, I walked in, loved the store. I was able to cut a deal with them. Then I went home and said to her, all right, don't kill me, but I think I'm this and this. And all she said to me was, as long as you don't go crazy like you did in Yardley, because Yardley was 30 years in the making. I thought, hey, if I ever move a store and do my own type of store, I want this and this. A long time thinking. So I went a little crazy here. I went a little crazy in Middletown, but I still kept it reasonable that I didn't go nuts. And the store turned out beautiful. Our shop's there, which is good. It's different because repair shops there, I kept it really big so we can even continue to grow our repair business, stay in there. And I'm excited. I think it's a great shopping center. I can already see we're getting tons of new faces. We're getting tons of people that have shopped with us for years, because that's the main thing, is you want to keep the people you have and you want to hopefully continue to grow.
You talk about loyalty to your crew. They've been there forever. They saw you grow up. They saw you take the charge.
Yes.
Of the passing the baton from, and again, your brother is involved too, but you're the face.
No, my brother's not involved.
What family business wise?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I know Matt does that. I'm saying, but I'm just saying, family business wise, you took the baton. Your parents were like, "This is you. This is all yours," and the employees had the trust in your father and your mother to, hey, he's going to be taking the reins and he's going to lead us forward. How did that go with the crew?
All right, I'll say this: there's only a couple people left from my parents, just because a lot of people have aged.
Obviously, yeah.
Bruce, our jeweler, has worked with us for 40 years. He's like my older brother, because even before he worked for us, his mother was the original Michael's Jewelers employee.
Yeah.
So I grew up with Bruce. We're like brothers, and we still are. He is my older brother as far as I'm concerned. There's Nick in the other store who also has been here 39 years, and he's like my second father. So it's one of those things, whereas we work well together. I'm one of those people, I'll never say we're going to do this, or I lean on the people that are in the stores, both stores, heavy, because they're the ones that are doing it. And I feel like I've got a great staff. That was the other reason that I don't want to say made this easy, because it was not easy, but I was like, I'm willing to make the bold moves and do this, because the hardest thing you do in the jewelry business is staffing, getting the right people in, the right mix of people, and people that work together and people that enjoy and can work together. And knock on wood, we've got a great staff in both stores. That's why I said, hey, I feel good about doing this.
Yeah, you've got some new blood coming in too.
We do.
That are making
'cause
you do the advertising and the TikToks and the
that's the
social
thing. I
media.
don't know what a TikTok is. I'm too old for that. I don't even have it personally. I have it for the store. But that's the thing, is like mainly our main business these days is bridal. I don't want to say I'm old, but I'm not young either. So that's why you need younger, fresher people to come in and tell you, hey, this is what's hip and fresh. Advertising, you want to try to do this and this to bring in people more my age. So yeah, I heavily trust the people I work with.
That was my first. Like, I already knew where to go when coming to you, trusting the process, and I was like, okay. And literally, I got out of it. I was like, you and Kelly were just like, okay, you two talk, and then even with the CAD programs and all that stuff, you were like, trust me, I got this, and you obviously did a phenomenal job, and we can't thank you enough. And then even when we went to get the ring cleaned, the new store, there was a whole bridal party in the section, in engagement section, and they were all just falling over how, first off, your stores are beautiful and amazing, but the service too, of it's packed. Your store's packed. No, it's and I guess that's a testament to you.
We the method to our madness, we just try to stand out and be unique, because that's, I thought, hey, if we're doing this, we're building a store, we want to be the only one in the area to have a bridal boutique. Nobody has that. The only one to have the selection we have. And just, I've told people all the time, the new hires, I'm like, the main thing that keeps us standing apart is our service. Because the one thing I feel like it's lost in this day and age is no service.
Yeah.
You walk into Home Depot, there's no cashiers. It's all robots,
Yeah.
self-serve. And I'm like, no, we have to keep the old school service, because people just don't do that anymore, and realize that people can go anywhere, but they can't get the experience that we can provide. That's why we've got to stand out and make sure we give that to them every single time.
Yeah. You know what Jewelers Row was.
Yes.
And how it was, how you grew up, and now that's gone away.
It's horrible. It's a shame.
It is a shame. And that service was there then, but you took it. You took the old school mentality of service and growth, and knowing your customers and knowing your clientele and knowing their stories, not just as a number. And you obviously that's your parents' upbringing and that's your whole family's upbringing, but you also steered it to a new generation that to keep. No one has two stores. No one moves to two new stores in this economy, especially a jeweler's store, because it's all about location. It's getting.
I want to do this.
Yeah, but I think it's working for you. The fact of the matter is that, again, Langhorne is going to be, again, more traffic, more people, and I think that's going to be another legacy for you guys. Now, if that's going to be a legacy, is that something anyone, the kids have expressed interest in, or?
Possibly. So my son, no interest. He's from day one, wants to do finance, or he's talked about being a lawyer, maybe an accountant, never showed any interest in it whatsoever. My daughters have a little bit of interest in it. They talk about, they might want to come into this, they might want to. And I say to them all the time, I only want any of you if you want to do it. The only reason I'm good at this, I've never worked a day in my life. I love what I do. I get up every day. I'm excited to come to work. It's fun. It's unique. It's different every day. And that's why I'm good at it. I said, if it's a job and you're doing this to make money, don't. Because my daughters have talked about, one might want to be a lawyer, one might want to be a teacher. And I said, if there's a might, maybe do that. I said, if you want to do this. And also I said, I didn't have stores like this when I was your age. I said, my parents did have two stores. They had a store in Fairless Hills, as you know. My mother had a store in Richboro, but they didn't look like this. I said, could you not want to do this? I said, and I'm not trying to push you, but it's just, if you want to do it, I'd love to have it. If not, that's okay.
You're building it for them.
I am. But also I hate to say, even the employees that work here are like family. Like some of the younger girls that work here, I say to them all the time, if my girls don't come in, you two will keep it going. I'm almost at the point in my career where I can come and go as I please. I still do work because I still love what I do, and there's always stuff to do. That being said, as long as I'll work till I drop dead. My wife and kids are expensive. They always like to go on vacations and stuff like this. So I'll always work.
When's Jake's spring break? It's now?
He already had it.
He already had that, but he's taking a week off?
Yeah, he kids today, they've got the life. He came home for a couple of days. He went to Punta Cana. And then after that, he
Oh,
came home for a
nice.
couple more days back in school.
Nice. The girls are next week, right? So
Yes.
that's good. Yeah, at Pensbury, and obviously this could be a nice trip for you guys out to California. Now, you wanted California, but did you ever want Florida?
No, my wife does. It's funny. We
Yeah.
talk about it now because we should buy something in Florida. I'm like, one, we don't have any money left. We just did 2 stores. I'm like, two, I'm like, I don't need time to go. I said, and three, I like Florida because of the close proximity. California is more my vibe. And if I were starting to think about quote unquote retirement properties, I'm not. I'd want to go more Arizona, California, something like that.
Yeah.
Just fits me better.
But Bucks County is always going to be your home.
Always. It's funny because my wife talks about she wants to sell the house when the girls move out. I'm like, where you going? I said, I love it here. I'm 2 minutes from work. I've got a fenced-in yard for my dogs. I got a gym in the basement. For me, I said, I'm staying here. I love it here.
Yeah. You still do the hockey too?
I don't. I finally realized I'm too old for it. I hate to say
Oh,
it.
really?
And honestly, I miss the guys, but I don't miss the late nights. I don't miss having trouble getting out of bed 2 days later. And
Yeah.
I've been out it's been almost 2 years.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. But you did the hockey for a while.
Long time. Loved
Yeah.
it. I played hockey as a kid. I took 14 years off and I picked it up again as an adult. And just, to me, the best part of hockey is I met so many amazing people and like teammates, guys I played against, referees, guys that ran the league. It was just, it's awesome. So that part of it I miss. I just don't miss, like I said, playing.
Yeah. If you, and again, you're heavily into sports, obviously. We see you.
Yes.
Jealous of the Penn State games and all this stuff. I obviously keep looking. I'm like, damn, I should just go. You're going to everything. What would be your next dream design of a ring? So, which team do you think you would? If one of the teams came to you and said, Michael, we want to design a championship ring, which one would you like to design most?
Eagles by far.
Is Eagles by far?
Yes. You know, I'm
Really?
a Philly sports junkie.
I know you are.
It's football. It's football, hockey, basketball, baseball for me. So that's why, I live in Dallas.
I thought Flyers. I really did.
Just because of Flyers?
Just because it's so long term of a championship.
It is. I guess, for me, the Flyers, are we ever going to see a championship in our lifetime? I guess,
think so.
For me, all right, so you did not see, I'm older. I'm a couple of years older than you, so you've never seen a championship in your lifetime. I did, but I was eating my food from a bottle because the first 2 years of my life, they won championships back to back, and then never again. And don't get me wrong, I love the Flyers. I love going to games. There's nothing like it. You're down there, every single fan, no matter how good or bad they are, their faces are painted orange and black. They're all dressed up. They're all hyped up. But Eagles are just, I plan my life around the Eagles. When people say to me, so what are you doing on this day? Or there's a game. I'll get mad at people when they try to even ask to do anything. I'm like, no, I'm either going to the game on the home games and the away games while watch at home or with some friends.
Yeah, of course.
Small circle, never a lot of people because I want to watch the game. But no, Eagles are just different.
I think that's funny because a lot of nowadays you see people planning. So when you talk about sports, you're seeing nowadays, even with weddings and stuff, they're planning everything around the sports. It's more prevalent.
As they should.
I remember we had our wedding and it was like, all right, when do the Eagles play? We can't do it. If it's okay, it's a Saturday night, we're good. It's fine. Wake up the next day, watch the Eagles game. We're okay. Are they on bye? You have to mold your whole schedule around it. And 100%. The same thing with obviously with the life of kids, and one kid in college, 2 girls in high school, trying to plan everything out and the 2 stores. What is something that makes you relax? Because obviously you're high intensity. You have to be. You have to be in this business. You have to be in this. What is something that other than sports makes you relax?
The beach.
The beach.
We do have a beach house. I actually met my wife at the beach, and we do have a condo at the beach. And I say all the time, it's the only place I could truly go and unplug. I sleep better down there. I don't stress or worry about anything down there. I can actually just truly go and unplug.
Which beach is it?
Margate.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Even a couple weeks ago, my wife and I just went after work on a Saturday, just went down, had dinner, hung out. The next day, walked around a little and left. But I said to her, so much more relaxed. And it's funny because I never want to go in the winter. She'll always say to me, let's go down the shore next weekend. I'm like, and then when she gets me down there, I'm always like, you bitch about it every time. Yet when you're here, you're so much happier and you like it and you're looser. And she's right.
I like it off season because first off, it's less people.
Yes.
It's a time to just, it's less limited. There's not as many stores. There's not many restaurants open, but it's freedom.
Yes.
And thankfully we live so close that we could just hop in the car and go for the night, for the day, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think that we're in this hub where everyone's coming to Bucks County. And they sit down roots here, and then they could still go to New York. Like you have friends that go to New York every day for take the train or whatever, go up to New York. They can go to Jersey, they can go to the shore, or they can fly down to Florida for a little bit and then come right back up in a couple hours. I know a couple of people that fly to and from in one day, which is a little crazy. Not right now,
Crazy.
but to me, you traveled all over the country. What brought, other than you didn't have to stay here, you really didn't. You it was given to you, not given to you. You earned it, definitely. I'm not saying that you didn't, but was there any point in your life where you're like, it has to be Bucks County. It has to stay in Bucks County.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ironically, it's funny. So growing up here, I'm getting out of here. I can't wait. I went as far as I could. I went to California without leaving the country. And once I got out there, I called my mother, said, I think this is where I was supposed to be, Mom. I love it here. I'm never coming home. Literally,
broke her heart.
Yeah. And then, as I told you before, I did move home and then went to Atlanta. And even then, I didn't think. I guess by living all over the place, it made me appreciate this area so much more. Whereas I think when I got engaged, there was no place. Like I remember my wife saying to me, she grew up in Montgomery County. Where could we live halfway between here and where I grew up for both of us? I said, Willow Grove. I said, but I really want to do that. I don't. And I just said, look, I'll say this from the beginning. My wife's a physical therapist. I said, could work anywhere. I said, whereas I'm locked in here. I said, I really hope you fall in love with this area as much as I do, because this is where I want to stay. This is where I want to raise my family. I grew up in Yardley Hunt. I live in the neighborhood across the street where I grew up. And I always thought once I settled down, I knew we were getting married, raising a family, all that stuff. I want to stay here. I want to send my kids to the same schools I went to. And it's just a great feeling. Like I walk into the Pennsbury schools. I either see people I grew up with that are teachers or administrators, or they send their kids there. It's just a good feeling. I that all the time, and it just feels like home. It always has. I walk into McCaffrey's, for example. I worked there as a kid all through high school. A lot of people still work there that I worked with when I was a kid. It just, again, feels like home. Everyone says, wait, you're not going to shop at Wegmans? I'm like, this is home. I know everything is. It's just easy. Wegmans is a big, huge corporate giant. And like, I go there for lunch all the time. And I go there for some of the things I can't get at McCaffrey's. But no, I'm pretty simple. I like the things that I like. Some of the same restaurants I still go. I love Bucks County. There's no chance I'd want to live anywhere else.
You promote small business in your own right, because you understand, obviously you have corporations trying to come in, big corporations try to come in, even in the jewelry business. They try to come into Bucks County, but I think the loyalty's there, and I think you're reciprocal. You go into McCaffrey's, you go into the same restaurants. I think that is something that's a testament, because not everyone sees that. Not everyone knows that you go to those areas, but you just want to show the other employees, like, hey, look, I'm a small business owner. I understand what it is to build a business in Bucks County, to grow and live in this life. I don't just come in for work and then shoot off to somewhere else. I am the community. And I think that's a big thing, because you also do a lot for the community. You do a lot. You do a lot, and more than a lot of people know. We'll get back to the podcast in just a second, but I just want to tell you about what I do. I've been a licensed realtor in Bucks County for the past 20 years. I serve Bucks County, Montgomery County, Philadelphia, New Jersey, all over the place. And I also have helped out hundreds of families buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, don't hesitate to call me. Reach out, DM me, whatever you need to do, and let's start working together. All right, now we'll be back to the podcast. What is something that you love the most about giving back to the community? Because you're a huge Pennsbury fanatic. That was your
Pennsbury. I say all the time, because everyone hits me up and they like, I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm like, it's no bother. I said, first up, I never say no to Pennsbury, ever. I said, sometimes there's times I can give more than others, but I always give something. First off, let's say this. Number one, I wasn't the best kid growing up. I wasn't the best kid growing up. So it's a great feeling to be able to go back to the school where you went to and realize, hey, I can give back. I can do this. I want to do more. But I love the fact that I'm able to do that. There's no better feeling in the world. Even like little things like the baseball fields in LMT, to be able to sponsor that. I'm like, I played on those fields as a kid. So it's my pleasure to give. And my kids played on those fields as a kid. And it's good to give back to your community. And I feel like it's a responsibility too. It's a privilege for me, but it's your responsibility. Everybody should be able to give something.
That's big, first off, because not everyone feels that way when they went through high school. A lot of people went through Pennsbury. I went to Egan. I try to give back to Egan as much as possible. Connell Egan, excuse me. Now it's Connell Egan. It was Connell Egan then, but I always just say Egan. But
It's Egan and me, the old school
yeah,
guys.
exactly. That's so my whole family went through that way. You guys went through Pennsbury, so it's a legacy thing. But and you made sure that your kids were going to be there too. You knew you knew the education, you knew the teachers, you knew the grade schools that they were going to. You walk it through, it was the same grade schools. And when the girls graduate, wherever they go off, do you think out of the 3 kids, do you think any of them are going to be coming back, or do you think Jake's going to be going to do you think he'll come back to Bucks County? I know his mother wants it.
Possibly. So it's funny you should say that. So Jake went through a similar stage as me. When he first graduated, I hated Pennsbury, and he was negative to it. Whereas now, it takes him a year or two, and I think he matured a lot. I loved Pennsbury. I loved the diversification of growing up there, everything else I had. So he appreciates it a lot more. He always said he doesn't want to live here, but I'm getting the vibe he might. And I used to say the same things at his age. So that could change. I think a lot of it has to be, one, it all depends on what he does for work. And 2, it all depends on who you marry. I'm here because, 1, I want to be, but also I'm stuck here because of work, as I tell my wife. I can't go into work, but that's my excuse to not, because if it were up to her, she'd be in Florida or somewhere warm. This winter was brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal. But it was pretty. At some parts, it was nice. It felt like a long time. You wouldn't want to move back to Montgomery County for her, or never?
Love her, and I would do anything for her. Fortunately, she loves this area as much as I do now, which is good.
Again, your family's here. Your legacy's here. Do you ever see a point where it's time to, again, your parents were there for a long time. They were there for 45 years. Do you think you're going to stay that long, or do you think that maybe a transition out a little bit sooner?
Probably longer, because I think the difference between when my parents stayed in business that long, it was different. My mother worked full-time until she walked out of here. My mom has been gone from the stores for 7 years. But she still, whereas my father scaled his hours back about 20 years ago and kind of got burned out early. So I'll say this, as long as I love doing it, I'm going to work till I drop dead. And I'm dead serious about that. There are jewelers I know that still work in their 80s. They don't work full time, but they come and go as they please. They've got a good staff or possibly a family on hand that they can do that. I think that's my main thing. Was the first 25 years of my career, I was locked in here store hours 24/7.
Yeah.
That can burn you out. Whereas now we are staffed properly. I can come and go. I work hard, but I play hard also too. So I think doing that, good work-life balance, I'll never hate this. I'll always love this. And I don't know, there'll never be a time where I won't want to be here.
It's funny because you grew up in the business. Your family, everyone's seen you grow up through the business. Now you're seeing people, obviously families, that you're the jeweler. You're it from birth, different gifts like birthday gifts or whatever, all the way to marriage, obviously, and then wedding gifts and so on, anniversary gifts. Everyone goes to you. So is that your way of giving back as well? Again, the way I say it like this is like, I'm a realtor. I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm not going to be a doctor. That's not my way to contribute. Whereas you define the stories of wedding stories. That's another great thing that you do is you post the wedding stories out there now, the engagement stories. Is that something you love that?
No, take you for example, and I'm going to use you personally if I may. I bumped into you how many years ago when you were going through your divorce?
Oh my God.
It was unhappy. It was horrible. I bumped into you in a bar and I felt so bad for you, but I thought this is a good dude. He's going to find somebody. There was nobody happier than me when you brought Kelly in.
Well,
I thought, one, love her for you and love to see you happy. So that's the best part of what I do. There's a lot of stories like that where people that I've known for a long time that I'm like, love that they're happy that they're getting married. I'll say this because I'm not a kid anymore. I'm now at the stage in my career where the kids that were coming in helping their fathers buy gifts, the little girls, stuff like that, are coming in and getting married.
Oh, wow.
And then they're having kids. And then, so I've had multi-generations of families coming in here, but I'm 30 years in. So I guess you do that, you'll have that. But there's no better feeling than that, because that's my main thing is it's the personal relationships I have with people that are my favorite part. There's so many people in the community that I've known over the years. And as you're talking about just going out to local restaurants, the supermarket, shopping, stuff like that, I bump into people all the time. My kids hate it because they're like, Dad, can't you just go anywhere and not talk to anybody? I'm like, one, no, because
of course not.
One, I'm a talker, and 2, I like people, and 3, it's a great feeling. Sorry, I'm not going to ignore people and never will.
No, it's the connection. And I think that's something that no one else can replicate. Big corporates, they don't know. They can't replicate what you know. And again, when we bumped into each other, I was definitely miserable at the time. But then when I came back to you, not only was I happy, but also I didn't know. Like you, so much has changed in obviously in engagements and rings. I had no clue, and you blew my mind on that. Even with the lab cut, the lab grown diamonds and all that stuff, I couldn't believe it. What it was for the longest time. I had such a astigmatism towards them. I thought it was just poo poo, no way. But then when you got exactly what Kelly wanted, exactly what I wanted, which was whatever she wanted, then it was so easy, so simple. And I guess that's the care. And that's also your staff too. Your staff said, okay, you want this. This is what you want. It's not more of a push, but it's more of just a guidance. I think that's something that big corporations can't replicate that. They can be trained in something, but you can't fake sincerity. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. And you guys are truly sincere about what you do. And I think that is a testament that most people don't know. They see Michael's Jewelry, they see, okay, wow, it's a fancy new store. But the biggest thing is that the sincerity and the heart behind it is your biggest takeaway. And I think you've done a great job with that. I think that the advertising's there. I think that the growth is there. Now, would there be a third store somewhere?
Absolutely, 1000% no.
No?
No, definitely not. No, I'll say this. So one, I just started to feel like myself yesterday from this.
Oh, yeah?
It's one. And two, I'm good with this. It's not, I don't want to be a giant. I don't want to be just 2 stores is enough. I just want to have 2 very good stores is all I'm looking for. And I can honestly say my dreams are, hey, I do want to move to a bigger store with Yardley, check. I do want to move out of Fairless Hills to a better and a bigger location, check and check. So I think at this point, I'm good. I just want to manage those, enjoy those. And like I said, it's between you and me, as much as it was a lot to do in a year, it was a tough year. I had a small break where I was able to exhale a little bit and then jump right back in. And to be honest with you, this moving Langhorne was more stressful than moving Yardley.
Really?
Yes, which I wouldn't have thought it either.
I wouldn't have thought that either at all. I thought with the red tape of Wegmans and that shop is
see, I didn't deal with any of that, fortunately for me. DeLuca did the entire build.
Good.
They took care of all the permits, all the build. So I had no stress with that. I had stress. My stress was our showcases were being delivered from Turkey and they were months delayed. And I thought, are these going to come or am I going to have to pay rent on a store and pay salaries to employees when I have 0 revenue coming in? So I did have that stress over my head and we just made it. We were about 10 days late from opening, but that was okay. So I can live with that. We lived. This was different because I did the majority of the subcontracting was me. I don't build, but I did have to get permits. I did have to coordinate stuff. I did have to, and I realized it's not easy at all to do that. And it's something, no more bills, no more doing this again. I'll tweak stores. I'll continue. That's me. Even like this, even when I look at the store, I'm like, I could still add this and this, but no, I'm good. I just want to grow the 2 stores we have and I'm good.
I think you're going to have continued success. I haven't seen the Langhorne store yet. I definitely have to stop into the new one. The Yardley one, obviously.
Starting in a couple of weeks, you better be there. I'll let you know when it is.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it. It's always been a testament of, again, we went to the Fairless Hills store because that was the store. That was, again, I knew you from Yardley, but we went to the Fairless Hills store for years growing up. And then again, when we went, we were like, okay, let's go to Yardley, let's go to Michael. And then, again, I didn't see anyone else. And I felt bad saying, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to wait for Michael on this one. But it was more of just, hey, we know each other. So
the bullshit catch up. And also never get offended because it's a personalized business. And honestly, I love, no one's happier than me when someone comes in and they ask for Kate or staff or Mo or whoever it is, because that means, hey, they're doing a great job. They trust them because I can't be here 24/7. I can't. And honestly, why do I have all these great people if they can't wait on people and build their following as well? But we build a culture. I've learned that when we're hiring people, it's like, all right, we need people that, number 1, love people, number 2, love jewelry. And I've even hired, the last few hires have been people we've trained from the ground up that kind of tend to be some of our best hires because, and I'll say to them all the time, you've got a great personality, which is good because I can't teach you that. I can teach you jewelry, but the rest is just, if you're not a people person, you won't be good at this.
Yeah. And this way, they get away from any tendencies that they had. If they were coming from another store, the new hires and the ones that are just green in the business, you can mold them the way you want. And then, again, you've dealt with where you were the green one for the longest time. And then where your dad cultivated you, which is a nice little pass on the baton.
Well, believe the guy that trained me the most is one of your dad's buddies, is Tom Harris. Trained me ground up and the hard way, which is how I learned. If you're going to teach me, you got to do it 1 of 2 ways. Either make it fun or come at me hard. And I'm talking like drill sergeant hard. He did, but that's what molded me and made me, and all my fundamentals came from him.
Tommy. Yeah, Tommy was a character at the least, and you
For
didn't
sure.
want to upset him, but he was very specific. But you're not that way. You're more of a molding. You're in new generations, right? You're molding people a little differently than, hey, did you forget?
Yes, because not everybody can respond to the way I did, but it was good. And also the good thing is we all in the stores help each other, train, work together. And I think that's what makes our staff too. Some of the newer hires that are here, they're working good because they're working with the younger crowd that's here, that's been here a few years. They're able to relate more. They're able to teach more because you got to remember, I learned a lot of stuff 30, 35 years ago. Remember everything, how I was taught. And plus, things have changed so much. So it's just better that they all kind of work together. Like some of our newer hires, I'm like, wow, you've only been here 6 months, but it seems like you've been here 6 years. You're killing it, which is a great feeling for all of us.
That's all. I wish you guys immense success. And if you guys have you never seen the stores, you got to check the 2 new stores. And I'm going to put the links below for the Yardley and the Langhorne location. We will definitely stop in the next couple weeks to Langhorne one. I'll text you before.
April 23rd is our ribbon cutting.
April 23rd, yeah. So
we'll have food, we'll have drinks, we'll have a DJ. You know how we do it.
Of course, yes. It's going to be amazing, and I wish you nothing but success. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This was a blast, and good luck to you on this. I loved it. Now let's talk about you for a second. You don't just sell houses. No, you don't just sell houses. You're always doing different, innovative things like this. I think this is awesome.
This came about because I had this idea actually like 2020. So I had this idea. It was COVID, and like I was trying to do the videos to help out like small businesses like Pat's Colonial Kitchen was struggling, so I did a video for them. Greystone was just starting out. They wanted me to do a video, but I didn't think that it connected as much. But you could do a little video at a store or a shop or whatever, and I don't think that shows the small business. Now, like my father was a small business owner. He had a menswear store. I grew up on Mill Street type of thing. So it was another small business revolution of that needs to happen with COVID. But with everything going on in the past 5-6 years, and you know exactly what I went through, we're not going to go in there because it'd be 3 hours of talking about that. That's where this podcast came in. And because I wanted to give a voice to Bucks County, give a voice to my friends and the people that I know and the people that I don't know. Last week, I had someone on that I never heard of. Heather Olson of True Healing. And that episode, like, I had no clue. I didn't know what a Reiki is. I didn't know any of that stuff. And it was a whole mind-blowing thing. And again, I don't think a lot of people know about Bucks County, what it has to offer. And again, they know your stores. They know you. And I wanted to give them another glimpse into your life because the fact of the matter is, you've helped out so many people. You helped me out. You've helped out 1 million people. And that was where I wanted to take this. And again, this is not real estate related. This is something that I always wanted to do. And just because it is a way of giving back to, again, the businesses that have to survive. That's why you go to McCaffrey's. That's why you go to the mom and pop restaurants, because this is your community and this is my community. And this is how I wanted to do it because I can't do what you do. Like you're one of a kind, and again, no one's going to replace you on that, and no one's going to take your spot because the fact of the matter is that you are Michael of Michael Shores. You are the success you deserve by all of it. Again, I want to thank you again for this. So,
my pleasure, and this was a blast. And thanks for having me.
No problem. I'll see you.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Have a great day.
Bye. Thanks for joining the podcast today. If you want to hear more, click the link below and check out our other episodes. If you're looking to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out to me. DM me, whatever you need to do. I'd love to hear your voice. I'd love to share your stories. Have a good one.